All right, ladies and gentlemen, Detox Dudes is back. It's been a while since I posted on YouTube. I've had a crazy, crazy journey in the last 7, 8 months since I've posted, maybe longer, I don't remember exactly. And I've been in some of the most amazing, pristine nature zones in all of the world. I've been in like 11 countries, and I've been in some of the most, purposely taking a long time here so I can post the photos, amazing nature spots ever. And truly, it's been amazing, okay? I have been living my dream life since last posting here on YouTube. And I want to share what's coming to me right now. You know, a lot of times a lot of months go by and it's not authentic for me to film on YouTube. And then some weeks or months go by and it's super, super authentic for me. In fact, for the last 3 weeks, I've been wanting to film. I tried a bunch of times in some really beautiful nature spots, and it just didn't fully land. Mostly because I didn't have full privacy. I'm traveling with a lady, and you know, as men, we really need our container to feel and hear our thoughts, right? And go deep, right? So I want to share with you a little bit about my life and where I've been. You know, I have 35,000 followers. I have not invested a lot of energy into YouTube since the blacklisting, where basically, you know, now I get a couple thousand people who look at my video, which is still awesome, but you know, I used to have videos getting hundreds of thousands of views, and that was awesome, right? So, but also I would say that, you know, it ran its course. Like it became less and less enjoyable for me. However, in this moment, it is enjoyable for me, and I'm gonna just talk, okay? So, the one thing I want to share is what I've learned over the years. My friend Mateus, he says it best. He says, things are okay, and then all of a sudden they're not. And another way of putting this is life happens in phases. The last you saw of me, I was on Hawaii, Kauai to be specific, and I was living alone, and I was spending hours and hours a day in nature, and it was beautiful. And the medicine of Kauai was potent. But sure enough, after about 6 months of that medicine, the medicine became a bit of a poison for me. The medicine of solitude, introspection, reflection, nature, not being around people, not being around a buzz, not being around EMFs, you know, that medicine became a bit of a poison. It started to damage my energy. I began to get exhausted from not having what I needed. And this happens in life in every arena. Things work, and then all of a sudden they don't. There's a specific person, job, geographical location, home that works until it doesn't, okay? And the thing that we do, most of us, is we either make it personal, we make ourselves wrong we make it personal, like, oh my God, I'm getting depressed. Oh my God, I'm falling back into illness. Or oh my God, you know, something must be wrong with me. Or something must be wrong with the place. Or let's stick it out no matter what, right? I committed to this year here, let's stick it out no matter what. And there's really no room in our society for this interface where something all of the sudden, and this oftentimes happens, by the way, no longer works for our energy body, for our chi, for our soul, for our highest being. And our mind will step in and try and figure out all the reasons why it should work, or all the reasons why we're bad and we're doing something wrong, and that's why it's not working. And we grasp onto it and we try and make it work. You know, sometimes I've had relationships, you know, and I just know the relationship is over, but I still just grab onto it for another couple months and try and make it work, right? And so that interface where things become not okay anymore is such a powerful, magical experience that if you're wise and if you trust yourself and if you trust the wind that's coming for you, the wind that's coming to take you to the next timeline, um, they're very important phases. And so the phase of solitude came to an end. I knew it came to an end. I was still grasping onto something on Kauai. And sure enough, this wind came and took me far, far away. I met a woman on Instagram. We hit it off. We've been together for 7 months now. I've been in 12 different countries. She only came to maybe 5 or 6 of them with me. We've been all over the world. We've been just unstoppable forces of light and joy and exploration and power and force and sex and aliveness. And everything that I was missing on Kauai came. Oh, a partner, a woman, love, sex, connection. I made a really funny Instagram post that said, I'll post it on here, looking for love in all the wrong places. And sure enough, a couple weeks later is when I met Alice. And so, we can really manifest in some mysterious ways, in some humorous ways. And so everything that I was missing, I now jumped to the opposite end, and I began exploring the world and dealing with so many different situations and sleeping in 40 different beds. And I'm an energetically sensitive person. It's hard for me to travel. I've been on like 25 different planes, and it's been nonstop go, 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 go. And it's been an amazing phase. And now I feel like this phase is coming to an end. I'm ready for a home now. It's been 7-8 months of traveling. I'm ready for a home and ready for some groundedness. But things are okay, and then all of a sudden they're not. If we take this into health, like the vegan diet, there's people who do vegan diet. I did it, and it helped me for like 7 months, and then all of a sudden it wasn't right for me anymore. But people get so fixated on and identified with some type of diet or some type of place, and they feel like something's either wrong with the diet or wrong with them if it doesn't work forever. But life is always in flux. The keto diet is amazing, and then it's not. The carnivore diet is amazing, and then it's not. The vegan diet can be amazing, and then it's not. And I've experienced all of these, by the way, in all different kinds of supplements, diets, healing modalities. They work, and then they don't. There's a medicine that it gives and infuses you with, and then it's time for something new, right? So, and in health, a lot of people get so fixated on the one thing. Like everything that I've talked about on this channel, there's an organization of people who will literally say, this is the thing. Like, this is the answer. Some sort of healing modality, or the Beamer device, or a particular diet, or coffee enemas, or whatever it may be. There's a whole community of people that are like, this is it, and this is it for life. And I just really, the first piece of this YouTube video is to share with you that life happens in phases. Things are okay, and then all of a sudden they're not. And your energy body knows when something is off and out of alignment. There's a vibration that happens inside of you, a buzz. It's like, no, something's not working. And my encouragement to you is to really listen on that soul level when something has expired. And forget about the mind, and forget about what you're attached to and sticking it out and white knuckling it. Another example of this is I was living in Berkeley with a friend. Actually, he's the friend who I talked about who taught me this concept. Things are okay, and then all of a sudden they're not. And COVID had just begun, and we were living in this little shoebox apartment, this tiniest little apartment. And I was supposed to be there for 3 days. And I'm there for 3 days, and we tune in with each other on day 4, like, hey man, it feels good to be here. It feels good to have you here. Let's just keep going with it day by day. And each day we would wake up, we would do our meditations, and we would, tune in with each other. It feels good to be here, man. It feels good to be here. Wake up the next day. Feels good to be here, man. Wow, pleasure to be here, man. It feels we're feeding off each other. We're meditating. We're tuning in. We're doing energy work. Being men together. Sure enough, it's like 6 weeks into it, and we both wake up the same morning. The one morning we wake up, finish our meditations, we turn to each other, and we go, yeah, it's done. We both look at each other. It's just not working anymore. And we both knew it was done. And And later that afternoon, he got a random opportunity to house sit. It was amazing timing. So I guess my encouragement is to really connect to the flow and the winds and the forces that are here in the universe. It's beyond logic, beyond reason, beyond trying to make reasons why something should work, sticking with something, white knuckling it. The spirit, the universe, the flow, the flow of chi sometimes happens and sometimes changes from one day to another. Sometimes something is really working, and then all of a sudden you're on a different path. Sometimes a friendship is really flowing, and then all of a sudden, different path. And this is the essence of timelines, destiny, fate, free will, which has been on hyperspeed right now because of COVID. So everything, all the laws of spirit in the universe, all these concepts and the new age metaphysical concepts, they've all been exacerbated with COVID. And now you can hop on a different timeline tomorrow. You can meet someone that changes your life in the next hour. You can have a 20-year friendship that dies like this. It actually happened to me. 19-year friendship, gone. And forget about whose fault or who did what or what happened. It's literally timelines, right? So things are okay, and then all of a sudden they're not. Protect yourself. Don't go with the lower mind, the reasons, the logic. Be there. Go to bat for your soul, for your spirit, for that flow that knows when a relationship, a job, or this or that is over, and you're ready to move on to the next thing, the next phase. Don't get stuck in vegan. Don't get attached to it. Okay, there's good medicine. On to the next. It doesn't mean vegan is now the enemy, right? So that's that, guys. That was just something profound that I really realized in the last years and lived. And so that phase on Kauai had come to an end. And luckily, I caught the next train. I could have missed it. I was really close to missing it. And I caught it, and my life has been amazing. Okay? Fucking amazing. I've been living my dream life. Financial abundance, traveling the world with an amazing woman, nature, wild, amazing cities, amazing food, eating like crazy fucking food. Guys, gluten, dairy, eating like a degenerate, especially during certain phases. Sometimes I go like a whole week of eating crazy amounts of junk food and pizza and pasta. I just finished a 1 week degenerate mode. And it's not even messing me up that much, right? So I also got COVID. Shit's real. I could do a whole video on it maybe at some point, but shit's definitely real. I would say to definitely be mindful, be careful, be wise. And here's what else I want to share with you guys. Living this dream life, having everything I want, not really having much in my way, going after everything I want and getting it, traveling, love, sex, it's awesome, right? But the thing is that I realized for a man, maybe not all men, but for me, and for a lot of the men that I work with, is no matter what, no matter how much money one makes, no matter the experiences, no matter how amazing and sugary one's life can be, the pain of being a human being never goes away, guys. No experience, no goals that you have, no financial goals, none of the goals, none of the accomplishments that you think are going to take you out of the human pain are going to actually do it. No matter how amazing life is, there's always this reciprocal this reciprocal force of sorrow, of pain, of agony for the world, for the planet, for consciousness, of pain, my own suffering, the suffering of those around me, the suffering of the planet. There's always this incessant desire for more, an incessant need for more. There's always inadequacy. There's always feeling like I'm not good enough, I'm not doing enough, like I'm losing, I'm failing. And there's always a wound of being a human being. You know, at one point in time, you know, a lot of spiritual texts will talk about the hermaphrodite being, and the hermaphrodite being, which is where we evolved from, where we're a man and a woman together all in one. And then there was a fall from grace, and we separated to male and female, and then we spend our whole lives kind of searching for our other half, which, by the way, we'll never really find, because we're looking for ourselves. But that void, that want for God, that want for love, for connection, for feeling safe, that want for the light of God. I mean, that's really what I would put it down to. It comes in mysterious ways, and you want money, and you want fame, and you want all these things, but really it's this deep yearning for wholeness, right? And it never goes away. It's the wound of being a human being. So the reason I share that with you is because even though I'm living my dream life and I'm manifesting everything that I want right now in wild fucking ways, money, everything is just like, whew, I feel so connected to Spirit and God. The pain of being a human never goes away, guys. This is a hard life, this human experience. There's so much suffering here. And some men ignore that pain. They run away from it. They mask it. They use money as a cushion so they don't have to feel it. They consistently stimulate themselves with wild experiences, sugary experiences that will take them away from that wound for a short while until the tomorrow when they have to do something else and have to make more money and have to do something else stimulating to avoid that pain. And what I'm beginning to learn about this life, guys, is that it takes a long time to find out who you are as a man. It takes a long time. And it's painful to find out who you are as a man. But the thing is that most men aren't even doing the work to find out who they really are. They're on a path of sugar. They're on a path of sugar where it's like they're looking for something to take them out of the pain of being a human. And they will, some men will go into their 40s and 50s and 60s without really knowing who they are underneath the sugar. And if you're in pain, if you're suffering, if you are unsure and you feel like you're on mareado, ayahuasca, they used to say mareado, seasick, and like, whoa, what is going on here? Then you're in better shape than you're doing the work. You're doing the work. And I would rather take 10 years and find a deep seat of who I am as a man, right? Than take 30, 40, 50 years and never find the depths of my soul. Never find who I am as a being, naked being, irrespective of all external stimulus, all external validation. That's the grand prize, guys. Finding who we are underneath all of the sugar, all of these desires, and all of these. I see so many men chasing money relentlessly. I have a men's group that I'll pitch it in here. It's called The Spirit of a Man. I did it 3 months ago, and then I'm doing another one that's launching on February 20th. It's amazing. It's been fucking life-changing for all parties involved. You can check the link below. It's a men's group, okay? But there were men who joined who, after a couple sessions, were like, there's a couple people in particular who I remember who left because the group wasn't uplifting enough. It was too much pain. It was too much sadness in the first couple of calls. It wasn't focused enough on making money, you know? And I realized that so many men are infected with this virus that money is going to make you sovereign. Money does not make you a sovereign soul. Money allows you to do a lot of things. Money allows you to avoid a lot of nasty situations and to enjoy yourself. But as soon as you use money as a crutch that prevents you from being on your edge of transformation, you're losing. And so a lot of men use money as a crutch, and or they chase money thinking that tomorrow is going to be different. Sacrificing today for tomorrow. If I make a lot of money, if I just put my blinders on, avoid all of these balls in my life that need juggling, family and love and emotions, and just laser focus on money, then someday in the future, 5 years from now, I'll have $50 million and I'll be able to put all the money back in these baskets and fill them up again. These baskets don't need money. They need your presence. Your presence is the most valuable asset in the world. Your presence, your depth, your soul, who you are, your beingness. The way you are each day is the way you are in the world. Each day you show up to the world where your priorities are, the way you're being in the world accrues to your results. It accrues to basically the way you are in life. And I'm not a believer in sacrificing today for tomorrow, okay? I don't sacrifice today for tomorrow. It's got to work now. How can I be great now? How can I be balanced now? How can I be a stand for humanity and for love and for all things important to me today, right? So I wanted to just share that no amount of money is ever going to truly, truly free you. Sovereignty that we're all chasing for, that we're all striving for, the true sovereignty happens in a deep soul level. It happens when you heal the brain, you heal the soul, you heal the astral body, the etheric, you heal these things so that you become a sovereign vessel, a vehicle that can travel. Most people are being driven, okay? They're being driven by forces of nature, forces of dark, forces of evil, forces of money, forces of greed. There's forces on the planet. Most people are basically on a bus being driven. And they're sitting on the bus and they're like, oh my God, I have so much power. I have so much free will. I'm so badass. They don't even know that they're just a puppet to all of their emotions and samskaras and wounds and all of the forces. And by the way, guys, this is all just a tangent and a pontificating. I'm not claiming myself to be the ultimate person who's not driven. I'm driven in many ways, and I'm have plenty of issues and plenty of shadows myself as well. But the point is that it takes a lot of work to become a sovereign being, to get into that driver's seat, to cut off from all of those sexy, seductive, sugary forces, those pulls, the sexual pulls, to have sovereignty in many ways, sovereignty financially, sovereignty spiritually, emotionally, to have free will, to have your own brain, to have your brain totally belonging to you, to have your soul, your essence incarnated into this body, to have freedom, choice. It takes so much work, and money is just one piece of the puzzle. You can't sacrifice today for tomorrow. You can't sacrifice everything now for money because you're not getting any more sovereign that way. There's all these different arenas where you're losing sovereignty, losing life experience, losing love, connection, humanity. And And so coming back to my point, which is nothing will ever truly free you. The only thing that frees you is the deep work. The work that's not sexy, the invisible work that most people don't even know you're doing. It's the invisible work, the getting up in the morning, the going to meditate, staying truthful to your word, honoring your deeper truth versus getting caught in sugary, seductive energies. Choosing love, choosing truth, choosing humanity, choosing your highest self. The invisible work, doing the plant medicines if that's your thing, the yoga, the qigong, having tribe, community, giving other people your fire of truth and taking the fire of truth, dropping the ego, changing, transforming, self-inquiry, constant self-inquiry. How am I showing up today? How am I being today? Where have I gone off track? And that devotion to the internal terrains is going to create a life of amazingness on the outside. And you can have both. And nothing out there is going to take away from the pain of being a human being, the difficulty of being a human being, of having this super complex mind that seems like it could be our worst enemy on a regular basis. Right? And then the last thing I want to say, guys, idle hands make the devil's workshop. Most of us have the most free time imaginable right now because of COVID. And I can tell you in the last year, I've had a lot of free time. It doesn't make me any happier. Idle hands make the devil's workshop. You got to put your will into a project. You'll always be happier. If you don't use that will, it churns on itself. And it'll start turning on you and churning on you. And so using that, when we have too much free time, too much time to think, it's not good being a wild human being and having too much time. We got to take that will and point it in a direction. Okay, so, all right, guys, that's just a random tangent. I didn't take any notes. I just went on a spiel, a flow. Hope you enjoyed it. It's been a long time since I've been here on YouTube. Yeah, check out my website, check out my Instagram. That's where I'm most active, Instagram @DetoxDudes. And check out my Spirit of a Man group. There's about 6 spots left in the men's group. I'll link below. And I got my one-on-one coaching. I got the Spirit of a Man men's group. I'm gonna be doing some retreats soon. I'm doing a retreat in April, either in the USA or Mexico, most likely USA. That's not for sure yet, but it's a very good possibility. I'll be doing a retreat in April in the US with my girlfriend. Okay, hope you enjoyed the show, guys, and go on those inner maps, the inner map, right? And work on the relationship with all the sugar, all the fluff. Okay? Ciao, ciao. Peace.
In the hills, those hazy days I do remember. We were running still, had the whole